and they would just put what you did, and they would decide whether or not you got promoted. And to me, that meant a lot because I was getting recognized for my abilities. And so going right into it, it's like, that's what we should be looking for. It doesn't matter, you know, the other things, it's what your capability is. And Rick Stevens, if you were able to listen to him earlier, talked about capacity and capability. And that's what I was rated on when I was in the service. So when I got out of the service, I wanted to find something that I could do and be appreciated for. The other thing about the military is you have a chance to go to a different job every 2 to 4 years. You never get a chance to get bored. I like to try new things. So the thing that was wonderful about Boeing is in the 17 years I've been there, I've had 10 different jobs. And I've had a chance to try different things, working in different areas. Of course, when I first joined Boeing, it was on the military side because that was my experience that I came in with from the Air Force. But I had a chance to be a test engineer. And what was great about that is I didn't do just the technical, like what you guys were saying earlier. By being open, I also became a presenter of the stats and metrics and all of that, but I got a chance to meet people because I was doing that. And then I had a chance to try project management, not just writing a test and running it, but I became a lead and had to schedule everyone else writing and running their tests and keeping track of that. So I got some project management skills that enabled me to move on to where I became an instructor. And I taught technology, but I was getting in front of people. And that's when I realized I loved working with people. So instead of staying within just the technical aspects of it, I became a project manager, got to work on some great projects going forward, new technologies coming into the Boeing company. I was with the research and development department, and new stuff, we got to be the ones to play with it before we packaged it up and then sent it out to the factory floor or into the offices to use. So that was a lot of fun to be able to do that too. And then I wanted to make a difference, and I wanted to make a difference with people, and so I went into management. And it was within the area of technology, but still I was able to work with people and help them grow. And this is part of where it comes into where I knew it was important to be a mentor. I had some people take me under their wing to say, these are things you need to look out for. These are some of the politics that you need to deal with. When you go to a company, I don't care how small or how large, there will be politics. If you have more than one person working on a project, you're going to have some political issues. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing, especially, you know, this year with the elections and all that. You think politics, you think of mudslinging and glad-handing and things like that and trying to get ahead. But really, if you look at the term political, it's you have resources that you need to work with, usually not enough. How do we come together, work together, get what needs to be done? That truly is a political environment also. So the networking and all that, that's important. When you're going into your field and when you join a company, it's not just the job itself that you have to do, it's the people you're working with. What kind of teamwork do you do? How well do you get along with others? How well are you able to coordinate, cooperate, and collaborate? Very important aspects when it comes to going into a career. Especially like in the software side, you have peer reviews. So you're writing programs or you're doing designs or you're pulling together systems. You're going to have peers critiquing what you're doing so you can have the best system there. You have to be open to that. You also have to be able to give critique. Some people are afraid to do that because they don't want to hurt your feelings. Well, that's not the point. The point is more than one person working together, the whole is usually better than the parts. So what are you bringing to the table? Not just the skills you're bringing to do the job, but what are you bringing to the table in regards to the teamwork and cooperation and collaboration? That too is very, very critical. And regardless if you're a manager, an exec, a lead, At any time, you're going to be expected to step up to a leadership role too. And that's what was so great about working at Boeing too. It didn't matter what my title was. I could take a hold of a project and run with it, and I would get supported. I mean, up here when you see these different ones, when I was a project manager, they needed to revamp our rewards and recognition, but they had no idea what to do. I was passionate about that, so I said I'd sign up for it. I got to lead that team and totally revamp for the whole education and training department of Boeing their rewards and recognition. I got a chance to stretch my wings, do a little leadership, do a little project management in an area that had nothing to do with technology, and it was great. You know, so the idea when you see an opportunity, you get a chance, if you have a passion for something, step up and do it. And I think because I did that, I was recognized for the abilities that I had, and I had set my goals when I joined Boeing in '87 that I was going to be an engineer and then a manager, and then I wanted to be an exec by 2008. I made exec in 1998. A little bit ahead of my schedule, but then it's like, all right, this is great. They recognized the fact that I was stepping up and trying hard and being a continual learner. So the responsibility that I have now, I call it the backbone of the backbone of Boeing for infrastructure, because I have what's called production services. And what we do is we're the who do you call? Besides Ghostbusters, you got 911 to get to our help desk. We have the data center, command centers around the world. I've had a chance to travel around the world because of Boeing. It's great. And like I said, I've had a number of different opportunities and different jobs that I could try out because Boeing is a large enough company that you're able to do that. And they recognize if you have it. There's leadership development programs, there's mentoring. As I stated earlier, they have a Boeing Women in Leadership affinity group that sets up to help with mentoring and leadership opportunities that you can do. It's great for what they have to offer. And like Microsoft and some of your other major companies, they have it too. And there's national societies, if you're interested in engineering, and there's specific ones like Women in Technology and Society of Women Engineers that you set up the networking and how important that is to go forward. But I think all of us are trying to say too is you can have a career and you can have a life. Work-life balance is extremely important. And that's the other thing that Boeing has really been pushing, and I know Microsoft, the fact that they're not just looking at take care of you when you're sick, but they have a wellness program, and part of that is the work-life balance and staying healthy. Don't get sick and have to get help. What are things you can do to stay healthy? Those type of things. And so the other message I want to give you is it's important, if you're going to truly contribute, to take care of yourself. I got asked a little bit because of Boeing in the news, a lot of the ethics things that have been happening. What are our core values and where are we trying to go as a company? And any business, shareholders that matters in going forward. Providing a product and service that people want, that's what matters. And the thing that you need to understand too is the globalization aspect. Just about any company now, you're going to be touched somehow by globalization, and so diversity is extremely important, understanding different cultures. I had the opportunity to spend a month in Turkey in April. Boeing takes their execs and sends them in country to learn about different countries because the aspect of going global. But it's important to remember as you read some of these things in the newspaper, the media and what they portray, you know, there's a few people that made mistakes. And like Rick Stevens said earlier, one's in jail and the other one's probably going to go to jail real soon. But the majority of the people firmly believe in the company, firmly believe in the values that we have up there, in the integrity and people working together and good corporate citizenship. We firmly believe in that. So, production services I already talked about. This is the area that I'm responsible for now. The reason I put this up here, these are our vision, mission, and goals.